hope you are well. Welcome back. This is episode 36 of the podcast. I cannot believe I'm 36 episodes in. What an achievement. And thank you to everyone who listens and follows me and actually gives me their time to actually listen to my waffle. This is also going on YouTube as well. So if you are watching on YouTube and you want more episodes, go to the podcast link, which is below in the description, and subscribe and thumbs up and all the other things that people on YouTube say. So today is a question I got from one of my clients. Let me just get it up. In her weekly check-in this week. So she has been doing my Mum's Formation Programme. My Mum's Formation Programme is an 8-week programme which is designed to basically give you a kick up the bum and get you started and get you out of a rut and into action. That is what the Mum's Formation is for. We're almost to the end of this round of the Mum's Formation and I don't really have a date for the next one. It's not something I'm focusing on at the minute. So it's super exciting time, and this is sort of what she's said is incredible because it's exactly what the Mum's Formation is about. It's for people who sort of know what they need to do but just need that boost to go on and do it, and then when they're done, if they decide they need an additional support at the end, that's fine, we can chat about that. But like, I want to give you everything in that 8 weeks, so actually you can go off and do it by yourself, carry on your own. So, where are we at? This is where I start singing. So, I've been thinking a lot about how much confidence I have to be able to continue afterwards, which is incredible. But I have been thinking, once I've reached my weight goal, how do I work out my maintenance calories? So, once you have reached your weight goal, once you have reached wherever you want to be, even if it's not body weight, because I don't believe that that's a goal, like a specific goal on its own that we should strive for. But when you have got there, when you are feeling really good in your body, you're really happy with where you are, you're really happy with the lifestyle that you've created to get there, then what you'd want to see is you to maintain that weight for a good 2 to 3 weeks without it continuing to drop. So when you're measuring your weight, and I know this client is, and she's tracking her calories, which does make it easier to know. When you're measuring your weight, I'd want to see that your weight wasn't moving for 2 to 3 weeks very much. It will still fluctuate up and down. I would say it's normal for it to go up and down a kilo either direction. That would probably be maintenance if it was doing it continuously for like 3 weeks, and it does take that long. It's not just a case of I've been the same weight all week and now like I've hit maintenance. That's not what it is. So what you would do is, if you were measuring your weight and you were happy with where you are, you wanted to remove tracking, you wanted to come away from dieting, come out of it and just maintain where you're at, you would, if you got to that point and your weight was staying the same, then what you would need to do is nothing different to what you've been doing to that point. And this is the trap that a lot of people fall into when they start to diet. A lot of people think that fat loss is the hardest part, when actually working out your maintenance and staying there can be very difficult, and it's not for the faint-hearted. When I think of my own experience, I did a diet for a photo shoot last year and I got down to the lowest weight I've been in absolute donkey's years, and I've maintained that weight for 6 months plus. It was August last year, so however long it is between August and March. And that's because I have been doing the same things as what I were doing up till that point. A lot of people think, oh, well, I've got to my goal weight, I've got to where I want to be, so now I'm done, I don't have to do it. Wash my hands of it, don't have to do it anymore. Which is one of the reasons why I focus really heavily on lifestyle change, not quick fixes, and not just dieting to get to a certain weight or to a certain dress size or whatever. Because whatever method you choose to get where you want to be, you've got to be able to sustain that, and it to be sustainable, and not throw the towel in every time you have a meal out, or every time you have a stressful week with work, or every time like your husband pisses you off, like, and you give up for like 3 months. You've got to be able to sustain it regardless of what happens. And this is one of the reasons as well why I focus heavily with my one-to-one clients on body image and relationship with food, because until you have got those things sorted out, you are going to find dieting very hard, and you're going to be in a cycle of being on a diet, off a diet, on a diet, off a diet, because you're not addressing the true issues that are keeping you stuck where you are. So for you, if you were staying the same and you were happy with that and you wanted to stay there, you would do the same amount of activity that you're doing now. So whether that's like 3 gym sessions a week, actually pushing yourself in the gym, a certain amount of activity, I don't know if you decided to walk to work or if you decided to go out for a walk on your lunch break. These are all habits that you've got to keep up, and people don't always like to hear that. Like, it's not just as the reason why people get overweight, and the reason why we have so many people overweight is because we're not active enough, and people think that things will just happen to them by some kind of magic, but you have to actually put the work in. You have to actually do things to get where you want to be. So yeah, so whatever activity you were doing before, you have to keep going with it. Then, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm just thinking now, don't get me wrong, if this is the funny thing, I never script or plan these podcast episodes, so I do try to keep on track with them, but I do go off on tangents sometimes. So it's not to say that bad things won't happen. It's not to say that you won't go like a bit awry for like 2 weeks. It's fine, as long as your routine is manageable for you to just jump back into, that's absolutely fine. So if you're tracking calories, you'd want to come away from that. You would, you wouldn't do it just cold turkey. You wouldn't come away from it. You would do it gradually. So you'd maybe stop tracking your breakfasts, stop tracking your lunches, or you might do it like stop tracking on a Monday for a week, stop tracking on a Tuesday, then you might drop your breakfast. And it depends on the person and depends on their eating habits, but you would drop down the amount of tracking that you're doing, because again, who wants to be logging on MyFitnessPal for the rest of their life? Certainly not me. And this is a process that is, the reason why I said in the beginning that it can be quite difficult and it's underestimated is because this can take a good couple of years. Like, to get where you want to be and then learn how to maintain it, it can take time. But once you get there, that's it. You're done. You won't even need, like, you might need to do it at some point for maybe a week just to check where you're at, but you will not need to do it again. And I'm quite confident with that. And then, so then the other situation would be if you were happy with where you were, but you were still technically in a deficit, your weight was still coming down, but actually you were like, that's enough, I don't want to lose any more body fat, then you would look to reverse diet out of the deficit that you're in. And the way that you would do that, so I would do this with a one-to-one client. And again, it depends on the person. It depends on what their lifestyle's like. It depends on what their eating habits are like. But you would gradually increase your calories until you were at that maintenance point and your weight stops dropping. And then you would remove tracking, carry on with your normal activity. So I think that's it. When it comes to maintaining your results, they're the two things. I need to stop saying why do I say so much? It's just because I'm thinking and I just feel like I have to fill the silence. Anyway, so the main thing is making sure that you pick a process, pick a routine, pick a structure that works for you, that you can sustain for the rest of your life, because it's pointless if you can't, because then you won't be able to maintain your results and then it will feel hard and you'll end up back at square one again, which is not where we want to be. So I hope that helps. If you have any extra questions, please let me know. Just pop it in the comments, send me a message. If there's anything specifically that you want me to cover in one of these episodes, let me know, and I will see you in the next one.